Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel and to another Sims 4 speed build. This one is a little bit special because if you've seen my last few videos, you'll know that I am in the middle of I say in the middle, I have just started a Let's Play that was designed to break my builder's block, and evidently is the fact I am building here with my face. You can see it has in fact worked somewhat. And I say somewhat because in order to understand why I'm building this and a rec centre in Henford-on-Bagley specifically, you have to understand like the rules of my Let's Play. So if you're not familiar with the Let's Play, I have a sim who is on an off-the-grid lot. She has a simple living lot challenge as well as the wild foxes lot challenge. And I'm basically making the game as hard as possible for myself. The only way I can make money is by gardening, fishing, and animals. And all I have done so far with that is made it through fishing, but that's besides the point. And as I've been playing, I've realised that there are not enough community lots in Henford-on-Bagley, and I have really been struggling with places to go because the only place we have actually is the pub, really. And there's like these weird 3 lots down here in the centre of town that are right by the pub and where they have the Henford-on-Bagley fair on a Friday. I think it's a Friday. And they just don't strike me as houses. In my mind, what I know about like these small little villages, this is not where the houses would be. This would be a library or a cafe or a leisure centre, which I guess is, you know, sports and a pool and all that kind of stuff. And so one of my frustrations is that I've got nowhere to go except the pub. And it's made the gameplay for me, although you don't see a lot of it, obviously, because I edit it out in the Let's Play, it's quite repetitive. Like, the only place I can go to get up my hygiene is the pub. It's always the same people going in the pub as well. And so I wanted to build this rec centre because I cannot leave Henford-on-Bagley. So I can't go to San Sequoia to use their rec centre, or Willow Creek for the library, or you know, I can't go and use the pool in Windenburg, for example. I cannot leave the world. And this means it is quite restrictive in the gameplay. And so I'm going to put in a couple of different community lots that I think are going to really help keep the gameplay fresh and so basically stop me getting bored. This was one of the hardest builds I have done in a really, really long time. As you can see, I am on 5 Cobblebottom Street, which is only a 30 by 20 lot. And I know you're thinking the same as me. Why are you building a rec centre on this lot? Well, I didn't want to build it anywhere else. I didn't want to demolish any of the houses. I didn't want to put it on this big lot. I didn't want to kick anybody out. Sarah and Simon are not included. There is a chance I will evict them because I might want their middle lot. That's all I'm saying. But I didn't want to take it outside of this neighbourhood either. This neighbourhood is very much the town centre for me. And it was the perfect place to put it. So I demolished one of the empty houses and it took me forever. Like literally forever. Because I was adamant I wanted to have a swimming pool in this lot to go alongside the gym. And this must be, I literally think this is about like my 5th or my 6th attempt actually at this build. And it finally came together all in the end when I kind of figured out what I wanted. You can see I'm now going through and I'm adding bits of furniture into the rooms to try and decide what I want. And yes, that is an empty room at the top there, just behind the library. I could not figure out what to put in there. So I actually went to a Facebook group, one of the builders groups on Facebook, and I said, hey, I'm building this rec centre. This is what I've got. I've got this one empty room. Like, what can I put in there? And I got some really, really great suggestions. Somebody suggested I do like an event space for like baby showers and birthday parties. Which I absolutely loved, but the problem with it was that that room was not really big enough. And so I went with somebody else's suggestion, which was a movie theatre. So if you somehow happen to be watching this video and you are the person on Facebook who suggested a movie theatre to me for my rec centre, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it was super helpful. And I really like how that room turned out. As for the build, as you can see, it's come together on the outside now. It does take up a lot of the lot, but I was really happy I managed to keep a couple of outdoor spaces. We've got like this outdoor patio and we have like the one that's not undercover as well. There's a barbecue there that goes there. And I have like this little area for bikes at the front. I didn't really know what else to put there. I didn't want to put benches or whatever because there's some around in this area, as you can just see at the very top of the screen. Like there's already a couple of picnic benches. So I just use it as like a bike stand, pretty much. I just put a bunch of bikes there. But the rooms we have, downstairs we have the pool and the gym. They're kind of separated by like this big archway, and then you've got the 2 shower rooms there, which I think works really nice and flows really well for gameplay as well. And downstairs we also have a kitchen, so you can sort of get food while you're there, and a big like playroom for the kids. I don't know, in my mind it would be kind of like the daycare place where you would technically drop your kids off, but obviously that doesn't exist in The Sims, unfortunately. So it's just kind of like the place for your kids to go and play. Or maybe you bring like more than one sim here with you. I don't know, but there's this big kids area. It has stuff for children, toddlers, and infants. I do go in, I think, in a minute, and I fence off like a space for the infants. So this floor plan isn't final. So yeah, downstairs you've got the gym, pool, the kids' room, 2 toilets, 2 showers, and the kitchen. And then we move upstairs and we have a games room with puzzle tables and chess tables, the music room, which has, I think, all of the musical instruments bar the keyboard. I tried to fit as many in there as I possibly could. I know for a fact there is guitars. There's one of the amps from the Moschino pack as well, because it just looked really good with them. There's 2 microphones, a piano, and I think the violins are in there as well. And also upstairs, we have obviously the cinema. There's a little like seating area with a vending machine in the hallway. And then we have the huge library, which is more geared to kids, I will be honest, because I wanted to try and make this build like quite attractive to all age groups. So we have a library and we have a small sitting room plus an art room. Now in my Let's Play, I'm not actually allowed to use art to make money. I really can only use gardening, fishing, and what was the other one? Gardening, fishing, and animals. It's because I don't have any animals yet, so we are struggling really, really badly. But I'm hoping that the gameplay will feel a little bit more alive, having such a big and vibrant community lot. It will hopefully bring in other Sims that we can form relationships with, whether that be friends or romantic. I just really like the idea of another place that wasn't the bar, and where it has the different activities as well. It means that we can actually have a shower. There's nowhere for us to shower. We are currently living our hygiene on the edge. We are very much on the edge of that, and we have just been using the sinks in the pub. And, you know, I know it is a rags to riches, but realistically, this is the kind of place that you would be able to go to. I know that when I've played this before in City Living, I've gone to the gym, and I guess to make myself feel like I'm not like cheating just by having it there for it, I will like go and use the gym for like a sim hour and then use the shower, because it just feels a bit more realistic to that. And so I think I'll do the same thing here. I'll send her maybe swimming for a bit and get a bit of fitness skill, and then I will send her like to have a shower afterwards, just so it's kind of a bit realistic to what we would do. I am in the kids' room, or the kids' area now, and you can see we are just decorating the infant space. I did put one of the travel cribs in there. I felt like that was quite a realistic thing that you would have perhaps in this space, is a place for these young ones to sleep. And so if you're there with your infant, you can like just put your infant there to sleep and go off and do something while still being able to keep an eye on it. Obviously, I do not recommend you do that in real life. Just, you know, just as a disclaimer, do not do that in real life, please. But in The Sims, you know, nobody's going to steal your infant. At least I presume they won't. I hope not. So we have this little potty area as well for the toddlers, and the newspaper there from the Cats and Dogs pack worked kind of really well. I didn't really want to have the potties like on the carpet, and I didn't want to create a tiled area just for them, nor did I want to clog up like the toilet space for them. And in this room, it just seemed like the kind of place you would have them. It's just like one giant big nursery or like play school area, really. And I had to put this in because you have to have a jungle gym as one of the lot requirements for a recreation centre. And so I went for the toddler one because I didn't have enough room to put one outside. I really did want to use the pirate ship one, and I tried in some of my previous iterations of this build when I was trying to figure it out. I did try to sort of make it work, and I just couldn't really do it. But there's also a lot of stuff in this area that you can, that you can do like that. So I didn't think it was like the most important thing in the world. And I tried to put one of the art tables in downstairs, and then I thought, well, it makes more sense to have this upstairs where I have the art room just off to the right there with the easels. And so I put them upstairs, and this is when I decided that I wanted to use the new desks that we got from the Growing Together expansion pack. I love the colours of them. I have been desperate to use these in a setting like this, and I love the way they all sort of snap together like side by side. And I use the matching chairs for them, as you can see, so you just got like this great big colourful space, which I really love. This is the little sitting area. I thought that this was maybe just a place you could come that would be a little bit quieter, maybe not so much with the archway, but there isn't really any seating in the main library area, and I didn't really want to put any in because I felt like it would clog it up too much. So I decided to have that little seating area there over the side, and I think that's quite a nice addition. You know, you just get your books, go and sit down. We have 3 easels here in the art room. Again, I am not going to be using these in my Let's Play. I set my rules, I'm not going to cheat. So yeah, I am stuck. I just wanted activities to bring Sims here. And also I really just love this for general gameplay as another recreation centre to maybe have in a world, or like a save file, other than just the San Sequoia. The San Sequoia one. And I like the fact that it's very different. Like, I feel like a lot of recreation centres are perhaps skewing like a bit more modern-y. And I like the idea that this is a very traditional sort of build that you would sort of see over here. So I don't know, in my mind, maybe this is like an old house that has been renovated, or it was multiple businesses. I don't know. But I had a bit of a fuss here trying to fit in these tables. And I'm using the high school years tile there. I liked that. I thought it matched really, really well with the new fridge, as well as like the tiles. Yes, the tiles on the floor, very good. No, the cottage living cabinets. Those things all kind of went together. I wasn't really expecting them to go together, but there's like this weird mix of like classic and like new, more modern furniture that really came with the Growing Together pack, and that was really good to infuse in here. We've just moved into the pool area right now. You can't see, but there are some towels behind my head. There we go. And I do put the new one from Growing Together as well. These little mats are from Spa Day, and I think they just worked really well as like, because I remember like when I was younger and I used to go to like the swimming pool, there was like this ridge of like the for the excess water, like a drain. That's it, a drain. That's the one I'm trying to think of. There was like a drain all around the pool to get the excess water as you got out. And so it was like a drain kind of in my mind. I didn't really know what to put on the walls in the gym. So I kind of just went for like this aged brick. And I feel like that worked kind of well. I've moved upstairs now. I am in the games room, trying to figure out the games room. I believe I do delete one of these tables. And I know that later on I do come in and put in 2 chess tables, because I basically tried to cram as many skills as humanly possible into this build. Because obviously I don't want to do a ton of community lots. I think if I do another one, it will maybe be like a restaurant or a cafe with an event space, like you can like hire. So that I'll have like an upstairs that will be a party room that you can hire. So here I really wanted to get as many skill items in as I possibly could, bearing in mind of the clutter as well. And I think I just about did it with the majority of them. Obviously, you've got the play area downstairs. You have the computers in the library, as well as all the books where you have access to everything. Here in this room, you've obviously got like the puzzle tables where you can do different games and the puzzles, and you will end up with the 2 chess tables as well for the logic skill. This is the music room. Like I said, I tried to get as many different things in there as I possibly could while keeping sort of a bit of space. So we have this new upright piano from the Growing Together pack, which I love it so much. And I think that swatch is the coolest thing. Oh yeah, I put a dance floor in as well. The room is kind of big, and I didn't want to put in more than 1 piano. Like, I felt like 1 piano was more than enough, especially with like 2 violins and the multiple guitars, including one for the kids there. And so I thought, hey, a dance floor. You know, maybe you have a band that we don't have in The Sims 4 and your band is there practicing. I like the idea of just filling that space with the dance floor, and it just being a really functional sort of open area without clogging it up with too much furniture. And also you have the bonus, you can get the dance skill. So there's a ton of skills alone, like in that room. You've got the guitar, violin, comedy, piano. I think piano is its own skill, isn't it? I think so. I really like that. And we've got the 2 little toilets up here. They are just really basically simple. I didn't clutter the bathrooms because I felt like there was a lot of clutter and decoration elsewhere. The change table there is the wall change table. I felt like that was the most realistic thing you would have in a space like this. I did consider putting one somewhere else as well, but I didn't in the end. I just have the one downstairs because I figured that's where the babies are going to be. You're not going to like take them upstairs really, unless you're just going to leave them on their mat. So I really, really liked how it came out. I will say that I don't think the orientation of the gym is my favourite with this big long hallway, but I feel like I made the most of it with what I had. Unfortunately, I had to put the lockers in. I believe the lockers were... I don't know if they were required actually, but I felt like they should be there. Like, it was quite a realistic thing to put in there. And so yeah, I put the lockers in there where the punch bag was, and I kind of don't regret that. I feel like there's enough workout equipment in there anyway. I'm just changing out some of the lighting and then moving outside to the barbecue area. There are 2 grills outside. Although there isn't exactly a shortage of grills in Henford-on-Bagley, like they're kind of all over the place. I felt like it was a really good spot to just put a couple of picnic benches. And I love these picnic benches. They're actually from the toddler stuff pack, I believe. And they have some really fun swatches. And I just love that classic like red and white checkered pattern. And again, my newfound love of those outdoor sofas from the Get Together pack. The first swatch they have on them, the grey and blue one, really doesn't do it justice. But I love that pink one. It added a really nice pop of colour. And you'll see here, this is where I flipped the filming. This was when, after I'd sort of made my request in the group and said, hey, does anybody know what to put here? And then I sort of came back into the game and I started building, and then I realised I hadn't hit record. So all of the curtains, you've got the massive screen there, I think is from Get Famous. You've got some dark paneling and some of these wall decorations. I really like this little snack corner. You've got the popcorn maker, the ice cream maker, and like the little snack packs from the Clutter kit, which is nice. And then we've got a couple of movie posters outside. I felt like it would be a realistic thing that like whoever runs a recreation centre would maybe change the posters out every now and then. And I had a bit of an issue with the seating. I wasn't really sure what I wanted the seating to be. I was going to sort of line them up, but then I decided that I only wanted a couple of the chairs, and the cushions were what I was going to go for because, you know, I imagine there's going to be a lot of kids coming here as well. You're going to populate it with a lot of kids. And so the cushions are more for the kids, but we know adults sit on them because Sims are dumb. So I think I'm just largely going around now, just sort of moving some stuff around. I really love that little board with the drawings on. I thought that was a really nice addition to the library, especially with like the art tables there as well. I think the only thing I didn't actually put in here was a bar, although I do use one of the little drinks trays in here in the cinema. So I guess you could say that technically there is a bar, but it's not the kind of one that you can stand at and like raise the skill. Honestly, I just didn't have anywhere to put it. And plus, if you want to do that, there is the bar just literally across the road in the pub. So I didn't want to like double up on that skill item of what we already had, especially for me, since I did build this specifically for my gameplay, for my Let's Play, which I will, by the way, link down below in the description box. And I'll also put a link at the end of the video in case you want to go and join on the chaotic ride that is Journey Watson's Rags to Riches life. I did build this specifically for this Let's Play, bearing in mind that if she does have kids, I won't have them leave the world until they're probably teens. So yeah, I really love these little starlights as well. I think they just added a little something, like a little pop of colour and brightness into the library. Those new bookshelves are just simply incredible as well from the Growing Together pack. I love how different they are, and where a couple of them have got the same colour swatch, but they've got different items on the shelves. I believe that was suggested to them by, I think it was Deligracy and Lil Simsy. They brought it up when they were building their builds for the pack, that they wanted the same one but with different items. And that's something that I think The Sims needs to work on in general, because obviously we repeat this stuff. So the fact that all of those go together is, you know, just a really nice thing. I think I'm just going through now, just adding little bits and bobs. There are a few rooms here that aren't very cluttered. The kitchen isn't overly cluttered, although I've got a couple of shelves for decoration. I didn't sort of want to impact performance too much. I know that sounds crazy considering like how much is actually on this lot, but I was kind of aware of, because of that, a lot of the items were actually functional. My changing table disappeared at some point as well. I don't know. I did put some clutter here in the gym. I put the clutter where I felt it was most needed. And I think here in the gym, these items from the Everyday Clutter Kit really sort of fit. I really like that table as well. I think it was from Dine Out or Get to Work. I think it's Dine Out. And I was just like, oh, this is really cool. I love this. So a couple of posters. Again, there's just a bit of decor here as well. And yeah, we are coming towards the end of the build now. I do have some screenshots that I have taken to put at the end of the video for you. Like I said, I will link the first episode of the Let's Play in the description box down below for you in case you want to join along that crazy ride. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to the channel. It is available for download on the Sims 4 gallery. My ID is EmmaHart121. That's also in the box down below for you. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Wherever you are, have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.